Hi. Sorry it took me a while there. I was like deleting. I don't know why it was recording when it wasn't supposed to be recording. So I thought I would make a video and just talk about a couple things. This channel is going on 4.5 years now, being out here. The mom series, The Misunderstanding of Multiplicity. And I'm continually trying to keep it very focused on media portrayals and the lie of psychiatry. And when I say that, I do not mean there is no such thing as multiplicity or DID or dissociativeness or dissociative disorder or multiple personality, or that there are some people that really are sick for a time who may not have good operating system going in their group, or that there is no such thing as multiplicity or alters or quote-unquote people or other people in a group or system. Or I'm not saying I don't believe that. I'm not saying that's not true and that people don't experience their life that way. What I'm saying is that there is a lie that is being perpetuated that was created by psychiatry, fed to the media, and many people that are going into psychiatry offices, therapist offices, are living their life being therapized, and they're losing their life. They're losing their lives. They're losing their homes, their jobs, their children, their friends, their lives. They're losing their ability to advocate for themselves, because if once it's on a medical record that you're DID or you're MPD, you're not taken very seriously if you have a real physical emergency. I mean, it's like, yeah, but they're first going to assess all the other stuff. It affects every aspect of your life if you choose to believe that lie and present as media is showing you, and as some psychiatrists have taught some therapists. I'm going to say this ever so gently, because I don't even... I've been in therapy since the 80s, since the 70s if I count school, high school. I'm 53 years old. As long as you go back to see a therapist and they have some way of collecting money from you, they will agree with you, listen to you, validate you, and support you. Even make you angry in a session to get you to go home and process and then come back and be more a mess. I'm serious. I'm dead flat serious. I've been honest about this to my therapist. I know he knows it. We've talked about multiplicity is not what so many young people out there right now are going through and believing. I mean, I think there's Jesse's group out there, Infinite Mind group. You're about the only in the younger groups that really understand that you do not have to fit these molds of what the media and psychiatry has told you, that it actually makes logical sense and you don't have to go into these roles, functions, and really limitations and excuses and a reason for everything and entrapments. Because therapy can be very empowering if you have a goal set and a time period and you know exactly what you're going for. But if you go in and you're looking to your therapist for everything, every new life turn, every change, and then you're looking back at everything because they're telling you, well, this happened because this, and this is, you're feeling this way because of that, and you will assign a reason to everything and never move forward. And I say this because I did. And I try so hard to be so tactful and let people know not to believe a lie, with being respectful to my therapist, because my therapist has said it's not like that for everyone. It's not like what we see in the big textbooks and the TV and the way doctors explain it. He knows it. When I say that he's been a support to me, we talk on the phone. Most of the time when he says, okay, it's getting time to make our appointments, when it gets to the end of the month and he's like, okay, let's make our appointments for next month. Usually it's 2 times a week. I've been backing off because my schedule is more busy. And I'm like, let's wait 3 weeks, get together on the phone. We have been on the phone for 2 years now, and although I would like to see him in person, I know if I walked into his office and sat down, we would begin chit-chatting about stuff. I don't even think, although we've talked about it, I don't think he even realizes he does. I think he wants very much for me to move on to, and I want to move on. And he has said there's been no therapy for being multiple. There's no reason to be in therapy. There's nothing that has to do with being anxious or anything that is about being multiple that we can't handle as a group together, or that would make him think that anybody needs therapy. And we have a lot of anxious things going on in our life, and a lot of limitations, and a lot of physical things and everything, and financial and physical, and just, and if you have someone to talk to, you end up talking about it and getting upset. And you could be talking to a friend on the phone, and they're like feeding the fire, feeding the flames, and you might have walked in and thought, I just want to chat this over with you and see what you think, and before you know it, they've got you righteous angry. And you go home, you process that, and you're like, I gotta go back to therapy and tell them what I figured out, and it becomes a all-consuming push-pull thing that really takes over your life. It becomes therapism. I say this with all respect to my therapist. He has always said, when you need a break, you need space, time, when you've got a busy schedule, when you don't think you need to be seeing me, then go do your thing, and when you need to talk to me, I'm here. And I really appreciate that about him. I respect that about him, because there was a time when it was so concentrated therapy, and he knows I resent that. I did that because I believed the lie of integration. I believed that you must come together as one, so you must do all this intense work and everything, when the truth was, I didn't really have to remember everything from my past. I didn't really have to go back and remember everything and continue to connect dots and have each person connecting dots for me in the group and their memories connecting. Sometimes it really is best to forget. It's true. It's true. Both of my grandmothers used to say to me, when I was very young, I would say, I remember that. It would be something like from my childhood. Maybe I'd be 10. I was thinking of this the other night. I was listening to a couple of songs that Andy Williams sang after he passed away. I was listening to the songs, and I thought, my entire childhood is in the theme of the soundtrack of Andy Williams and all those TV shows and everything. And made me think of my grandmother, who I lived with. And being about 10, 11 years old, and it was a really rough time for me around 1969, 70, 71, really rough times. And I would look, there would be the older family would be talking about something, and I would come in and say to my grandma, I don't remember that, and she would be like, it's good you don't remember that. And then my other grandmother, when I would go visit on Sundays, I would hang out with the adults and listen. And I would say to my grandmother later, I don't remember that. She would say, you don't remember. It's good. When you get older, we'll talk about what you don't remember. If you don't remember, that's good. And I think sometimes it is good to just let things go in the past. And that's where I'm at. I just want to move forward. And really try to free people up from being stuck in therapism, in the lie of what is sold as what multiplicity is through the media. I don't want to disrespect your experience. I just want to ask you to not believe everything you're reading, everything your therapist is telling you from the ISSTD, from all of the books that are out about dissociation and about multiplicity. There will be certain roles and functions that doctors think that groups run a certain way, a reason for why people switch and when. And I'm just asking you to look at a third option for the way you operate the way you do. It could be as simple as a defense mechanism or an inability to remember a time period that maybe was wrong, that you maybe was there, but you don't really need to know. Or it could just be the way you were born. Or it could just be what it is, and nothing more than that. But precious years are wasted for everyone, and so much suffering that doesn't need to be. So that's what I wanted to say about multiplicity, because I just noticed that there's so many people that are like gravitated towards the drama of multiplicity, and there's a lot of young groups out here being diagnosed multiple between their 18s and their 20s, and they've also had eating disorders before that. And if you really do the research, people that are out here have had channels for eating disorders, channels for bipolar, channels for OCD, and now they have channels for DID. And be careful out here who you're dealing with. You really don't know who you're dealing with. Is the greatest thing that I have learned online out here on YouTube is you can be talking to somebody, and until you really get to know somebody by the phone, Skyping, videos back and forth, you really don't know who you're dealing with. And people can come along and say they're multiple and start chatting with you, and you could be talking to God knows who. To the person who is continuing to stalk me out here and only come to my channel, I wish you health. I wish you health. And that's all I can say to you. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.